YouTube, capital G here. Looks like it's time to because my boy Chaz Princeton, aka Majime Thunder, is finally back. I was absolutely shocked when I found out that Chaz, of all characters, was getting the cover card of Blazing Vortex. I don't think anyone saw this coming, and if you guys don't know, I am the biggest Chaz fan. He is by far and away my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character out of all of them. Manga, anime, it doesn't matter. Chaz has always been my favorite, and I feel like level monsters have always gotten the short end of the stick. If you guys remember back during Arc V, Konami gave us some more Union support with like ABC Tier 1 deck. They even tried with Geminis and Kimi Critters, but they didn't really go back to Unions. They never tried to like revitalize this mechanic, and now they're finally doing that. And I'll be honest, man, if there's some Horus support in here, I might actually lose my mind, because Horus was actually pretty decent during the GX era, mainly because Horus level 8 was like a win condition, locking out all spells, and it actually had like a couple of regional top 8s. Armed Dragon, it kind of flopped, and it was ironic that Dark Armed Dragon ended up being like this insanely legendary, powerful card, but the Armed Dragons themselves, like the level ones, were just kind of bad. Mainly, if you don't know why, it's just they were too difficult to use. You had to wait multiple turns, and no one was trying to, give 3 turns for a boss monster, basically, when you had stuff like Dark Arm and these other powerful Light and Darkness Dragon cards that you can just drop immediately. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and check out the new Armed Dragon Thunder monsters, the same exact levels from the GX era, like 3, 5, 7, and then you go into 10. There's a bunch of cards. I probably won't read the entire effects, but I'll read the important stuff. Anyways, when it comes to level 3, this card counts as, and they all do this, they count as their original counterparts while face up on the field and in the graveyard. I haven't really seen any way that that's super relevant, but maybe you guys can educate me on that. The second effect is really how the new level monsters, I believe, are going to work versus the old ones where you had to wait till the end phase or you had to tribute them during the standby. Now we're just getting rid of that. Basically, you can level up immediately, which is something they desperately needed. So it says you can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. That is a cost, but it's a good thing. You'll see why with the third effect. It says send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one level 5 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. Third effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can draw 1 card. So basically, the new way that you level up is that you have to pitch a card from your hand and then tribute the monster on field. It's essentially the way that Witchcrafters summon their monsters. However, with these new cards, you actually get some bonus effects when they're sent from the hand to the graveyard. So it's not even like, ah, man, Cap, I gotta take a -1, because, for instance, level 3, this would just let you draw a card. Like if you pitch level 3 for level 5's effect, like it's fine, you're gonna get a monster from your deck, and you're also going to get the draw card. And obviously, these are just a lot quicker than the arm or the level monsters from, the GX era. So that's obviously something they needed to address. They got to make the speed on these cards a lot faster, but the fact that you get bonus effects is pretty good as well. With level 5, it's the same exact stat line as, the original Armed Dragon level 5. The difference with this guy, and again, the second effect, that summoning effect, is built into 3, 5, and 7, so I don't need to read it over and over again. Third effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can add a level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. Hello, Tempest, Dragon Ruler. Who doesn't like to be able to search Dragon Rulers, baby? I'm feeling that. Obviously, you can search level 10, you can search level 7, but the main point is you're just not going neg when you use these guys or when you're leveling them up. Level 7 is his unique effect, I guess we can call it. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can add 1 Armed Dragon card from your deck to your hand. So this searches out all the monsters, but in addition to that, it's going to search out the spells and traps, which that's always going to be a good thing because it just gives you like a whole big pool to work with. These all feel like very good cards so far, and honestly, the fact that they can just activate Dragon, or they activate when they're sent to the graveyard to activate Dragon monsters effects, that means that maybe they could work with some other Dragon archetypes that I can't think of off the top of my head. Now, the real interesting one, of course, is going going to be Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. So this was originally the ultra rare for the Duelist Pack Chaz, and then I talked about Dark Armed Dragon. I'll probably do an entire Yu-Gi-Oh story on that card. But the interesting thing about this guy is he's not a Nami. This card doesn't have to be summoned by Armed Dragon level 7. You can just tribute summon this guy. You can Monster Reborn it. I didn't realize that originally, but it's actually kind of crazy. Now, his effect says apply one of the following effects according to this card's attack when it is special summoned by a Armed Dragon monster. If it has 1 or more attack, it becomes Armed Dragon level 10. If it has 10 or more attack, control cannot change. 100 or more attack, it can't be destroyed by battle. 1,000 or more attack once per turn during the opponent's turn. You can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, target a card your opponent controls, then destroy that card. And if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. And then if this card somehow comes out at 10,000 attack, I don't really understand how to trigger this, to be honest. It says once per turn you can destroy all other cards on the field, so it becomes Judgment Dragon. I don't, because it should come out at 3,000 attack. I can't figure out how you're gonna get it to you're gonna summon it at a higher attack than that. So I'm not exactly sure how to trigger the 10,000 Judgment Dragon attack. Maybe it's just something I'm too dumb to understand right now. However, if you do summon this card with level 7, you are going to get all the effects up to 1,000, which means you'll get the quick effect pop. This card won't be able to be destroyed by battle. Feels pretty good for a boss monster. And then of course, you don't technically have to summon this with the other Armed Dragon effects, which is kind of nice, especially in a world where we have things like Dragon, we have the Guard Dragon. So this card actually feels pretty good. I'm liking the fact that it's not a Nami. Now, the interesting thing is we also have an Armed Dragon level 10 white, and I'm thinking that this is all based on the Society Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 2 when Chaz ended up being in the Society of White. That's what I'm thinking. So this guy has the same stats as all the level 10 dragons, and he's actually a Nami. This one has to be special summoned by its own effect, and that effect is you can banish Armed Dragon monsters from your field or graveyard whose total level of 10, or with a total level of 10, special summon this card from your hand, and then you can add 1 white veil from your deck to your hand, which is again just another nod to the Society of White, because I believe Alexis played that in her duel versus Jaden when she was in the Society of White. It says you take no effect damage, and then it also says at the start of the damage step, when this card attacks, you can destroy 1 card on the field. This is a monster that is fairly easy to summon, especially if you have some of the level 10s in the graveyard. You basically could get this card on the field for free. The effect damage negation, like, I don't know how relevant that's going to be, maybe against like a burn deck or something like that, but I do like the fact that if you attack, you just get a free pop on one of your opponent's cards, and it doesn't target. With White Veil, your opponent would not be able to respond to the attacks. Maybe if you're playing this card, you play like 1 White Veil in your deck and just hope that you don't draw. Of course, we do have some spells and traps for the archetype. We've got a quick play spell that is Armed Dragon Flash. It's basically an E-teleport for Armed Dragons. It special summons a level 3 Armed Dragon monster from your deck in defense position. The monster can activate the effect. Obviously, you got to start somewhere. They weren't just going to let you summon like Armed Dragon level 7 or 5 from the deck. Like, that would have been kind of nuts. So getting level 3 is perfectly fine. Technically, this can be an extender because, if you want to go into Guard Dragons and stuff, this is basically a free dragon monster from your deck. We got Armed Dragon Blitz. This is also a hard once per turn. And it says, you can't special summon monsters except dragon monsters after you activate this. Target 1 Armed Dragon monster you control. Take 1 monster with the same name from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring summoning conditions. That monster cannot attack directly. Okay, so this is why they must copy the names of the original Armed Dragons, and I guess this kind of rewards you for getting to the higher dragons, as this could, like, let's just say that you were able to get the new Armed Dragon level 10 on field. You could basically just summon a second copy from your deck, and even though it can't attack, maybe you attack with the first one, you could even go into, like, I don't know, Gustav Max in main phase 2 or something like that to do some burn damage. Honestly, I think being able to just have a 1 card like 7 or a 10, it feels pretty good. And this card is technically searchable from 7, so just keep that in mind because it is an Armed Dragon Speller Trap. We've got Armed Dragon Lightning. And the first effect is a hard once per turn. You can target an Armed Dragon monster you control, then activate one of these effects. It gains 100 attack times its level. And then it also says add 1 Armed Dragon monster with a lower or equal level to that monster from your graveyard to your hand. If an Armed Dragon monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. So I actually think the Rhoda, or it's not a Rhoda effect, it's more like a Warrior Returning Alive effect. That's probably the better effect because if you're pitching these Armed Dragon cards as part of the level up process, you are going to be burning through a decent amount of resources, and being able to get one of them back from the graveyard for free, that can obviously, you know, pay dividends if the duel does happen to go to like a grindy state. The fact that it can protect you from, you know, just I guess pure destruction, cards like Lightning Storm or whatnot, that's okay. Finally, we've got the trap card. This is Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. I don't think you're going to play this card, just to be honest. It says target an Armed Dragon monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack for each Armed Dragon monster in your graveyard with a different name with an equal or lower level to that monster, but all battle damage it inflicts to your opponent becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. That automatically just, I'll be honest, that just killed the card for me, honestly. This could have been a really nice little shifty OTK card, but no battle damage, no dice. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 Armed Dragon spell, add it to your hand. I mean, that's fine, I guess, if you want to reuse your spells, but not being able to do battle damage just turns our monsters into beat sticks, but they're not beat sticks that actually can win you the game. You're just attacking over your opponent's monster. I'm not playing this card, honestly. But the rest seems very interesting, and more importantly, I'm liking what Konami's doing with level monsters. I like that they're making them faster, and I'm crossing my fingers. I want to see some Horus support in here as well, because to me, Horus and Armed Dragon are probably the most interesting of the levels. I mean, Silent Swordsman, some of the other ones, like, forget about those, but these two definitely. Anyways, whatever you guys think, leave that in the comment section below.